I never liked you from the start. Don't come near my family for anything other than formal occasions. How self-centered can someone be before they are satisfied? Okay, got it. I decided not to get involved as she demanded. Time passed, and our circumstances went through various changes. One day, the in-laws showed up at our house. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, I guess I didn't tell you. But wasn't it you who said not to get involved in anything other than formal occasions? I don't see how it's my fault. I'm Catherine, our 30-year-old PR manager. Currently, I'm dating a guy named Leo. We are colleagues, working at the same office. Back when we were both new hires, we used to chat about work at the cafe during our daily reflection sessions. Among the new hires, we seemed more driven, actively going after work tasks. Our mindsets were similar, and we respected each other, which led us to get closer. As we got used to work and started producing results, we found room for romance and began dating. Honestly, I had hidden feelings for a while, but it seemed like both of us couldn't keep it in anymore. Since then, we enjoyed each other's company while working hard on our jobs. About 3 years into dating, he popped the question.
I can't help but feel like our meeting was fate, or the universe doing its thing. If I hadn't taken that year off before college, we wouldn't have ended up in the same company at the same time, you know? Anyway, I'm thinking a lot, and I really want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me?
Oh, baby, of course yes. That's how we ended up happily engaged. I was over the moon to marry the man I loved. He was always sweet and caring and cherished me dearly. Before getting engaged, we lived together for about a year. He was considerate and great at cooking and cleaning, which convinced me that I could keep thriving in my career without a problem after the marriage. Overall, marrying him seemed like it would bring happiness in many ways. Soon after, we went to meet each other's family.
If it's you, Leo, I can entrust my daughter to you without worries. Take good care of her, okay? Of course, I will do my best to keep her smiling.
My parents absolutely adored him. They must have seen his genuine side. I was thrilled that they wholeheartedly approved of him. Next was visiting his family. As the day for the visit approached, he started looking uneasy. What's wrong? Something happened?
Oh no,
He suddenly faltered and procrastinated. Then, as if he made up his mind, he opened his mouth again.
Actually, my family is a bit difficult. I'm worried they might say something rude to you.
Really? According to him, his mom and sister are quite troublesome.
I think mom and my sister are self-centered. They get ticked off over trivial things and won't accept anything less than being treated as number one. They are quite egocentric.
I became a bit anxious hearing that and wondered if I would get along with them.
But don't worry, honey. I'm always on your side, no matter what. Even if they say unpleasant things to you, don't forget that I'm here.
Sure, okay. Thanks, hon. His usual sweetness served as a comforting anchor. Even so, I still couldn't wipe away my doubt completely. Of course I did trust him, but when it came to family ties versus someone who is not blood related, I honestly didn't know whom he would prioritize. He could have suddenly taken his family's side. As the visiting day got closer, I started feeling more nervous.
Sorry for saying weird stuff a few days ago, adding unnecessary stress on you. But if I didn't tell you beforehand, I thought the shock could be harder if something happened.
Yeah, I get it. On the way to his family's place, We spoke a bit more about them, but the tension inside me didn't really ease up. We arrived after about 30 minutes of driving. Wait, this is where you grew up? It looked grand on a massive property. The long driveway to the front door and the stylish exterior. It screamed wealth. I'd heard his dad ran a company, but he'd always downplayed it, saying it's not that big deal. I had no idea how well off they were. Seeing the house, I finally sensed they were pretty well-to-do. When he pressed the intercom at the gate, a cheerful woman's voice answered, "Hey!" As soon as we parked in front of the house door swung open, and his mom, Rachel, came out. "Oh my God! You are finally here! Come on in!" "Hi, thank you for having us today." She was beautiful and looked stunning in her long flowy dress. Since there was an older sister, she was probably in her 60s, but she must have had good genes. She had an elegant appearance like Loretta. She greeted us with a smile, leading us into the living room. There, I met Leo's father Tim, his sister Gigi, and her husband. "I'm Catherine. Happy to meet you all." I introduced myself, and they returned the greeting with smiles.
Why don't we have a pleasant meal and get to know each other?
Tim suggested, and popped champagne for toast. I felt a sense of relief when I found them all friendly. They seemed nicer than Leo had described. However, the atmosphere changed drastically during the conversation that followed.
So, Catherine, you work at the same company as Leo, right?
Yes, that's right.
That company is a big one. Are you a contract worker there?
Oh no, I'm a full-time employee hired right after graduation. Leo and I started at the same time.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you must be excellent. Which university did you graduate from?
I studied at Fordham.
Oh, you are from the same university as me. This is incredible. We are both alumni. I'm happy to hear that. You are not only academically brilliant, but also from my alma mater. I'm really pleased that such an excellent girl and my son are getting married.
His enthusiasm filled me with joy as well. But at that moment, I noticed Rachel and Gigi staring at me with intense coldness. What do you enjoy doing in your free time, Rachel? I quickly changed the subject, but it seemed like they had already soured their moods and didn't engage with me. I don't have anything interesting to brag about to someone as outstanding as you. I'm just a housewife, you know. Well, I got married when I was 27, earlier than you though. Me too. I also got married at 28. Getting married at 30 is late, you know. They smirked at me. I felt like a small prey, circled by hyenas. I knew it was just going downhill from there. Leo seems to feel the same way, and immediately defended me. There is no superiority in this era about the age to get married. Marrying young isn't something to boast about. It made them sullenly silent. I tried to keep conversing with the help of alcohol, but while they happily engaged with Leo, their attitude towards me remained cold. Tim seems to have low alcohol tolerance and dozed off quickly, and Gigi's husband focused on eating and drinking, staying out of it. As I was feeling extremely uncomfortable, Leo came to my rescue by saying, "Should we head back?" and took me away from his parents' place. Since he had to drive, he hadn't been drinking and was able to keep a clear view of the situation. I'm really sorry. I never know what ticks them off. They both graduated from unknown universities, so they seem to have a complex about education. Oh, I see. I couldn't change my educational background, even if they didn't like it. Honestly, they had amazing looks, so I thought they could compete on other grounds besides education. I concluded that understanding someone's insecurity was like trying to solve quantum science for me. Anyway, we managed the introductions, but there was a dinner gathering between our families later on. I felt depressed thinking about having to meet Rachel and Gigi again. When the actual family meeting happened, those two were a hassle again. I'm tired of this restaurant, you know. I thought we would have dinner somewhere better. Both of them complained about the private dining venue I had chosen. What was worse, Tim joined their side this time around.
Maybe you don't have a high standard of food. I'm worried about what you will cook for Leo. Can you prepare proper meals?
According to Leo, Tim was head over heels for Rachel and was somewhat subservient. Rachel must have instructed him not to be friendly with me after the last visit. His attitude drastically changed and became overbearing.
Don't worry, Dad. She's a great cook. Well, I wish you'd choose a better place than this.
Rachel and Gigi looked at each other with a smug smile on their face. With an already troublesome mother and sister, even the father joining them made it unbearable. My parents were seriously concerned about me after the dinner. Are you sure about this marriage? You're the one who is going to have a hard time, you know. I will be fine. Leo will protect me. I said so, but I couldn't get rid of my anxiety, to be honest. After sending the family off, Leo came back to us.
I'm really sorry for my family's unpleasantness. I will promise to shield her from them, so please let us get married.
He pleaded with my parents, looking ashamed. Seeing his desperate state, it seems they chose to keep an eye on things for the time being. From there, we started preparing for the wedding, but to my surprise, Rachel and Gigi forcibly came along to the wedding dress fitting. I had no choice but to try on various dresses in front of them, but they completely dismissed my choices and pushed for different ones. Honestly, none of them suited me at all. I preferred the dress I picked earlier. It was my wedding after all, so I wanted to value my own opinion. When I tentatively expressed my preference to them, they put on mocking smiles. Oh, how rude! Rejecting our choices when we were trying to help. Is that how you will behave after marriage? I can't stand such an arrogant in-law. If you won't wear the dress we chose, maybe we should cancel our attendance at the wedding. At that moment, I realized they were purposely recommending dresses that didn't suit me.
Mom, don't be ridiculous. This is our wedding. She will wear what she wants, and you're a family, so I want you guys there.
I know. We were just kidding. They seemed to be delighted in Leo's frustration and my distress. Even before the wedding, I was already exhausted. Finally, the wedding day arrived, and so did a big problem. Rachel and Gigi were nowhere to be seen. Even Tim and Gigi's husband were a no-show. Leo frantically called the house.
Why aren't you guys here? Huh? Cancel? How come? You gotta be kidding me. Didn't you say it was a joke about the dress?
Unbelievably, they actually decided to skip the wedding because I chose the dress I wanted. Not to mention, they informed us at the last minute, which showed their truly despicable character. Leo immediately apologized to my parents.
I'm really sorry for the inconvenience caused by my family.
I wondered how many times he had to apologize because of them. It was all their fault, so seeing him like that made me pity him. Then, my parents suggested something. Why not honestly tell the guest?
Excuse me?
I mean, it's abnormal for the groom's family not to show up, isn't it? And their reason is ridiculous, so there's no need to worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
He agreed, and at the beginning of the ceremony, he took the mic and made an announcement.
Thank you all for gathering here today. I need to tell you that my family isn't, actually in attendance.
The chapel buzzed with murmurs.
Well, the reason they're not here is selfish and petty. My mother and sister feels insecure about having a lower education than Catherine, and have been mistreating her since the first time they met. And just now, they told us that they were not coming. They want to embarrass Catherine. My dad and brother-in-law went along as they have no will of their own, and are easily manipulated by them. Honestly, I'm ashamed that such people are my family. But I love Catherine, and I've decided to protect her no matter what. So I'd like a favor from all of you. Please bless our marriage, and let's celebrate our union today. Thank you.
The chapel was filled with whistles and applause. The wedding proceeded in a wonderful atmosphere, and everyone's blessings made it a blissful event. We finished the night filled with joy and warmth from the magical day. The next day, Leo received a barrage of calls from Rachel.
Hello? What now?
Hey, what have you done? Relatives are calling us saying we went too far. What did you tell them at the wedding?
I just stated the facts as they were. You and Gigi canceled at the last minute because you were jealous of Catherine and were being nasty.
What the? It sounds like we're the bad ones.
It's not sound like, but you are.
Shut up. I didn't think you would stoop so low. It's all her doing, isn't it? Let me speak to her.
Yeah, right.
Put her on the phone now. I could hear her shouting. I told him I would take over the call.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty upset too. Hello? Is this Rachel? How dare you manipulate my son? You're such an unscrupulous woman. Who is being unscrupulous here? You have blatantly been nasty to me and ditched the wedding at the last minute. Do you realize how much you hurt Leo? Shut up! I never liked you from the start. Don't come near my family for anything other than formal occasions. I wondered how selfish she needed to be before she was satisfied. Okay, got it. I was determined not to get involved as she demanded. I will steer clear and won't have anything to do with you from now on. Great.
I'm cutting ties with you all too. I'm on her side.
Fine. Do as you please. And she hung up the phone. We were thoroughly fed up with her and the rest. We decided not to contact them under any circumstances. Time passed, and various changes happened in our lives. It was roughly around 3 years later. One day, my in-laws came over to our place out of the blue.
Why did they come here? What do we do? Ignore them?
It's fine. I want to know why they came. We opened the door, and there stood my 4 in-laws. All of them looked equally worn out.
Let us in.
Tim led the way, and they barged right into the house. Then, Rachel exclaimed in surprise, "Oh my God! What's this about? Why there a baby?" "That's our child born last year." "Why didn't you tell us?" "Oh, I guess I never mentioned it to you. But didn't you tell me not to get involved except for formal occasions? I don't see how it's my fault." When I calmly retorted, she went quiet, looking frustrated.
What did you guys come here for? We were here to get a favor repaid. Huh? Favor? The company is in trouble. We need funds, so you should repay the expenses we helped you with during the university.
We were dumbfounded. Suddenly showing up, and demanding money seems tyrannical.
Wait a minute. Is the company really in trouble? Yeah, it is. The times have changed, and it's been going downhill.
Okay, but demanding the repayment doesn't seem right, does it? Sure, I'm grateful I could graduate and get a job because of it.
But it was you guys who insisted on me going to college. You said not to worry about money. Asking for it back now isn't reasonable. Don't mess with me. You're my son. Sons have an obligation to help their parents. Yeah, about that. I'm no longer your son.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about?
After the wedding, I legally changed my last name. You guys are strangers now.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
I'm really furious about what happened back then. I decided I want nothing to do with you guys. We were not family anymore, so don't rely on me. I could care less if your company goes down. That's outrageous. That's unforgivable. I don't need your approval. I'm on Catherine's side. I will never forgive you for hurting her. Well then, strangers, get out of here now. If you don't want the police involved.
Police? That's a problem. Our business is already in trouble, and it will be all over if the police get involved. They made a hasty exit, leaving trails of urgency in their wake. I felt a little satisfaction, seeing those who mocked me in such a predicament. To avoid any more unexpected visits, we decided to move. By the way, Tim's company did go bankrupt, and Jesus' husband, who worked there, also lost his job. As a result, they all seem to be struggling financially now. I've heard they constantly quarrel within the family. They've also been asking relatives for financial aid, causing some resentment towards them. Meanwhile, Leo and I have found complete happiness and tranquility in our new home. Our everyday joy is spending time with our child and enjoying happy moments as a family of 3. Going forward, we just want to be there together, watching our child grow.